The comfort zone is way too predictable. So even when you want to change, can it feel terrifying or impossible? This is because your comfort zone is designed to keep you safe, not necessarily fulfilled, satisfied, full of happiness and joy or abundance. So during this audio, you'll learn how to use the comfort zone to actually get what you want. My name's Alex Morgan, and I help you align your actions, your beliefs, your dreams, and your thinking so that you can create success. And success is here, and you might as well be ready for it. One of the easiest ways to be ready for it is to take massive steps outside of your comfort zone. So if you understand the comfort zone, it can actually kind of trap you. And you can actually break out of it in an easy and effortless way so it feels automatic and natural. In the comfort zone, it's not actually about being comfortable. It's called the comfort zone. However, when you're in it and you're doing the same thing over and over, ask yourself, do you actually feel comfortable? It's funny. I was in a group meeting the other day, and we were sharing 3 things about ourselves. 2 of them were truth, and 1 of them was a lie. So what I wrote on there was I collect crystals. That's number 1. Number 2 was the only thing I miss about the U.S. Living in the U.S. is Mexican food. And number 3 was I watch 120 movies a year. People were guessing all of them. So number 1, yes, I collect crystals. Number 2, yes, I do really miss Mexican food. Because in Greece, they have really good food, but it doesn't have that kick, that spice to it. Number 3, I watch 120 movies a year. And it was interesting because they were asking me about this. I said, well, I don't own any streaming services. I don't even have a TV. None of that. Most of the content I take in is from reading. And I saw someone comment, they were like, oh my gosh, I'm shocked. And I was thinking, there's a reason that I don't watch TV. There's a reason that I don't sit there and watch different content all the time, because growth is important to me. That's what I decided. It was just really interesting what the other people thought. So the comfort zone, it's about that familiarity and that predictability. It's really safe for some people. It's like their comfort zone is a survival strategy for them. So they think about it like this. They're surviving there, and it's easy for them. That's the thing. It's easy. Take safety over progress. But for me, growth is more important than progress. So I don't have things in my reality that are going to be in the way of my growth. So change, getting outside the comfort zone, can feel unfamiliar. And for some people, they even say, oh my gosh, it's so hard. Well, hard, it doesn't belong in the sentence of anything you're trying to do like this. What they think is it's almost like they're being threatened to their unconscious mind because of different fears, that unfamiliarity when they go outside of it. Because remember, the comfort zone is familiar. So they have fear of the unknown, fear of failure or rejection, fear of success, and feeling pressure that they always have to create more and more success, or fear of losing who they are. Some people think, who am I going to be without this comfort zone? What will I do? They've been doing the same things for so long. They've been watching movies. They've been watching TV. They've been doing the same thing for so long. They wonder, what's going on? How am I going to do something different? Because the comfort zone, it actually keeps you stuck. There's some subtle things that you can see in your awareness that actually show that you may be trapped in the comfort zone and you're not going to the growth zone or the hyper-growth zone. The first thing is you talk about doing things. However, you never start. You never even start, let alone finish them. So have you ever been around someone and they have all these good ideas? And you think, okay, yeah, this person is going to do something. And then all of a sudden, after a while, they tell you more and more ideas. And they're just full of so many good ideas. I mean, they're really curious. It's really good. And they're excited. Then you see them again and you're like, oh, so how did it go? And they're like, what are you talking about? And they never did that thing. Or they never did the other thing that they mentioned. So if you're talking about change and never actually doing something, it may mean that you're feeling more trapped in your comfort zone. And it's okay if these things are happening. The idea is to recognize this and do something different to go out of it. So if you're talking about change but never starting, ask yourself, what can you learn from this? And what can you do instead? Or what do you want to feel instead? Because obviously that emotion that you're feeling, it's not motivating you enough to do something. Other people, they'll stay in a job or a career, they'll stay in a relationship, or they have habits that just drain them. So if you're in your comfort zone, TV, all this, it drains me. I used to watch it and my brain felt like mush afterwards. If you watch a series, you binge watch a series and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what just happened the last 4 hours? I can feel it like in my head. Or people, they stay in jobs, they stay in relationships way too long and they're draining them. However, it's comfortable, it's familiar, it's predictable for them. And the third one is if you're getting stuck in loops of researching things, you're overthinking all the time, you think everything has to be done perfectly. Yes, this seems familiar and predictable to you. However, if you're just researching, you're not taking action. If you're overthinking, you're not taking action. If you're trying to be perfect, you're not going to take the actions that you want, because that often leads to things like stress and anxiety. So people often use things like self-sabotage as a defense mechanism. They use procrastination and burnout as defense mechanisms that keeps them in the comfort zone. So they'll self-sabotage their success, or they'll procrastinate and not take action, or they'll just say, oh, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm totally burned out. And they use that to convince themselves that it's easier to stay in the comfort zone instead of actually doing something else. So you can ask yourself, where in my reality do I say that I want to do more? Where in my reality do I say I want to do more? But act like I just keep doing the same thing, or I want the same thing. So look into your reality externally and think, what area of life am I doing this where I act like I want more, but I'm just really going for the same? And think about it. Then what's something that you can change there? It's pretty easy to change once you're aware of it. You don't really have to do so much. You can just ask yourself little questions, and all of a sudden you start to do something totally different. It's actually quite easy, because I'm sure you've stepped out of the comfort zone many, many times. Every time you made a new friend, you talked to a new person, you got a new job, you even do new tasks in the job, you started doing a new project. Whatever it is, you've done it so many times. The only thing that's really constant in your reality is change. So instead of giving yourself the same old suggestions that lead to the same thoughts, that lead to the same emotions, where you're just getting by, you're feeling comfortable, things are familiar and predictable, change those suggestions so you can have new thought. And those new thoughts lead to new emotions where you're going to be more motivated to change and grow. And then you'll really start to focus on what you want. And your mind is way smarter than you think, so it's going to give you what you focus on 100% of the time. And that new focus will lead to a new reality. And maybe this new reality change will seem easy and effortless. It'll seem automatic and natural. Definitely share this with someone who will benefit. If you haven't already, go ahead and like the audio and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate everyone who's been subscribing lately. Helps me keep creating content every single day. Go ahead and comment below what's something that you can do today to get out of that comfort zone. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next video or the next audio.